Ponzo, how you doing today, bro?
Hey, what's good, my guy? How you feeling, man?
I'm chilling, man. I'm good. How's your day going?
Man, it's rough, man. Just got a lot going on, man. The traffic, the rain,
Okay,
got all these busy appointments, man. I'm booked up right now, so,
okay,
things is going well, but, get overwhelming sometime.
okay. Well, usually when you ask somebody how their day going, they never say it's rough. So I respect you for being real.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
good. So let's start from the beginning. Where you from?
I'm from Buffalo, downtown Buffalo, New
Downtown
York,
Buffalo. Okay.
upstate.
I'm from New York City. So
Okay.
Buffalo, New York State. Tell me about that. How was it growing up?
It was rough. I grew up in one of the worst neighborhoods in Buffalo.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up in poverty where, I became a product of my environment and, start being in the streets, selling drugs, did a couple prison bids. And my passion for music kept me, on the right track with this entertainment business. And I'm 20 years later, and here I am.
okay. So, for someone who have never stepped foot in Buffalo, how would you explain it? I know you said it's dangerous, but
Right.
explain the culture of Buffalo.
The culture is, it's a hustling city. You know what I mean? Like we always been the second and third poorest city in America.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like everything we get, we got to fight for. You know what I mean? Ain't too many resources there, so you got to grind. You got to really have discipline to make it out. And we just striving for greatness.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Bringing that energy back to the city so that, I'm saying, it's more opportunities.
Oh, for sure. Okay. So you said that you had like a rough childhood, would you say, where you was like selling drugs, would you say?
Correct.
And so how did that start? If you don't mind me asking.
To be honest, it started from my mother being addicted to drugs for a lot of my childhood, and
Okay.
then coming from a lack, living in poverty, living in the Jefferson projects, and at my grandmother's house in the town gardens. You know what I'm saying? We living in the poverty, super poverty. So it's like, man, I want more. So
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, all the kids got all the newest, flyest shit. How else I'm gonna get it? You know what I mean? You know what?
Understand.
Nigga selling my mother drugs, it's my turn. Nigga, I don't care who. Everybody can get it.
I can understand that. So, if you put Ponzo in a whole different environment, do you feel like you would have turned out the same?
Absolutely not. And one thing about me, the spirit of a hustler is in me. So therefore, you know what I mean? Like, no matter what the lane is, I'm always going to figure out how to capitalize off of it. But, I wish I didn't grow up in poverty. I wish I did have a rich family that I ain't have to even look in that direction
It's
as an
understandable.
option.
Okay. So, when did music start coming about?
In 2006, when my grandmother passed away.
My condolences.
Yeah, my grandmother passed away in '06, and
Okay.
then, I took music serious and then just been pushing ever since.
So music was always like a floating thing in your life, would you say before that?
Yeah,
Before
yeah,
that?
absolutely. Because even when I was a kid, I was performing at all the
Wow.
family gatherings, like the family reunions, the picnics, the holiday parties at the house. You know what I mean? At my grandmother's house, I'll be the kid that's performing all the hit songs on the radio and shit like that for the whole family. So,
It sounds like you had a big family.
yeah, definitely on both sides. My mother had 11 kids, and my mother had 11 kids.
Wow.
So, yeah, definitely.
Wow. How was it? I know I keep on revisiting like your origin, but like how
Right.
that's a lot of family. How
Absolutely.
was it? Like what was
You know how
the
it go.
climate like?
Family is family, man.
That's a fact.
Family, love. It's always turmoil, love, and turmoil, love, and turmoil. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's still family gonna be family.
Okay. So Ponzo, you was born and raised in Buffalo, downtown Buffalo.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then music started becoming a prominent thing in your life.
hmm
When did you really like really see your love for music? When did you know that you really love music?
Like I said, since I was a kid, I always loved music. But when I was in high school, about to graduate, and what I'm saying, I started writing raps in high school and shit. And we started with like the little battle rapping and shit.
Wow.
And then like I said, when my grandmother died in '06, that was like a year after I graduated from high school, and I was in the streets full time at that time. So it
Okay.
was like shit, man. And then my son was just being born, my first kid at 19.
Dang.
I'm like, shit, nigga.
It's
You
a
know what I mean?
lot.
It started getting real. You know what I mean? Start turning point and being turning myself into a grown man. Life situations was maturing me and making me grow up faster than I was ready to.
Was you ever I only asked this question because you said you did criminal activity before, which is normal in different in situations like that. Were you ever incarcerated at all?
Man, I did 3 bids actually.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like the last one, I was on a run. I was on Buffalo's 10 Most Wanted. And then I ended up turning myself in after being on the run for 6 months.
Wow.
And you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I'm tired of this shit, man. I got kids now.
So
I can't keep committing these motherfucking crimes. I got to do something else. So, you know, I was blessed with other opportunities.
so take me through that. So if you can. So you the first time you being incarcerated, around what time was that?
Like 2008, 2009 era.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I was on the west side of Buffalo. You know what I mean? Me and my homies had a trap house over there. And I got pulled over. Somebody placed a tip call and said this guy in a white car was waving a gun out the window, and they pulled my car over, and I had a half an ounce of crack cocaine that they found, and I ended up doing a year in the county for my first felony. Yeah.
So basically, what you just said was somebody called for a whole different situation, and then they just end up pulling you over, basically.
Yeah, it was on some, you know, niggas wanted to try to get me up out of there.
Understandable.
I was in, you know, me and my homies was getting real money over there. We wasn't even from over there. Like I said, I'm from downtown.
Okay,
So we
so
not
it's,
even
it's
from
a
over
far
there.
it's a far distance from West Buffalo.
It's
and
not
downtown?
really a far distance, but that wasn't my neighborhood. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like I had a cousin that stayed over there, and then one of my homeboys, he actually had a crib over there. So you know what I mean? Shit just started taking place.
Understandable.
Shit just started happening.
So around this time, music was. Were you taking music serious around this
Yeah,
time?
we was still rapping.
You still was okay.
But
So
the
it's hand in
dangerous
hand.
part about it was, nigga, at that time we was actually committing the crimes we was rapping about, which is kind of,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, not smart, but you know,
Yeah.
we don't know. We young and impressionable at the time. We like, nigga, we doing this shit for real. Like these other niggas rapping, I know they ain't doing what we doing. We doing this for real, nigga. We really them niggas, but
Yeah.
you know, that's some young shit that nigga was on.
And then fast forward your second bid, what took place? So let's go through the timeline. So you got incarcerated. Not to really dwell on
No, it's
incarceration.
cool. I
'cause
mean, man,
part
it's
of
my
your
life story. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's gonna be in a book one day. You know what I mean? So
For sure. So you did your first bid about a year.
yeah,
How it's like I would say it's a shock to anybody going to
Definitely.
be incarcerated. So how was that? Like from your explain to me.
you know, I was a popular dude in Buffalo, so therefore everybody that was in jail already knew. You know what I mean? My name was already ringing when I got there. So it was like, shit, work out, read, eat. I'm already good. Got money on my books. Got a couple chicks coming to see me. It wasn't really about nothing, you know what I'm saying? But got out. Then I was out for a year, you know, went back to the old habits and got one of my customers actually I didn't notice until afterwards. One of my customers got pulled over by the state troopers, and they had got knocked, and then they ended up setting me up. So you know, so you know what I mean. Like these was just little signs. Like, all right, bro, maybe the universe telling you leave this shit alone.
It might be true, yeah. So how long after since the first time you was released did you get
That was a year later.
a year later? Okay.
Yeah, a year. I was out for a whole year, and then shit caught the next case.
So to paint the picture, you basically you was popping in your city, you was rapping, you selling what you was selling.
Right.
So you was the popular guy basically. You was getting to it. You
Yep.
go to jail. It was a walk in the park. So I wouldn't say, or would you say you didn't really? It was like a slap in the wrist type of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure,
Then
so-
the second time, it was like, all right, nigga, you got a slap on the wrist the first time by going to the county for 8 months out of that year. Now it's time to go upstate. You know what I'm saying? So then I went upstate again.
How
You
was
know what I
that
mean?
experience?
It was I don't like jail, but I can say that it really helped me out a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I went there and I made the best out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I made the best out of it. I learned a lot. You know what I mean? It made me mature into a real man because, you know, in there you gotta be a man. You gotta stand on your own too. You gotta, you know what I mean, you gotta survive in those type of environments. So, you know, I went through some of the roughest jails. You know what I mean? So it was like,
So how was your mental at that time? Because that takes a toll on somebody.
I just adapted to my environment. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? In here, you got to be on what you got to be on in order to survive. But again, I know a lot of people know me from the name that I built for myself. So, you know what I mean? I ran into people I know, and then it was, you know, like I said, I don't like jail. Don't ever want to go back to jail. Don't wish it on nobody. But, you know what I mean? It wasn't that bad for me.
Nah, yeah, I understand. It seemed like you strong mentally.
Definitely.
It seems like that. Okay, so fast forward, you come out, you go back in again.
Yeah.
Well, how long was the distance in time from when you came out from this second bid to going back in?
Man, another year.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But this time it was, you know, I was trying to pursue my music career to the fullest extent because I'm like, damn, every time I go to jail, it's like it reset my buzz. It's like, yo, I had this shit on fire, and then I go to jail, and it's like, man, I got to start all over again. So, you know what I mean? Got out pushing. Then my parole officer, you know, she was doing her job, but in the way, getting in the way of what I was trying to do. And I ended up catching a violation, and she, instead of sending me directly to jail, she put an ankle monitor on me. And then that day I cut the ankle monitor on because I was still hustling. And that day I cut the ankle monitor off and just went on the run, and then made a plan like, yo, I'm gonna run up a bag, stash that shit, which I did. I buried that shit behind the house, and then I stashed this shit and turned myself in. And then it was like, yo, after I finish this bid,
It's over.
it's over. I got all that shit over. I don't give a fuck if I go broke, nigga. I ain't going back to the streets.
Understandable.
You know what I'm
man.
saying? So it's like, you know, and you know, it's a lot of ups and downs for me to get to where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? I went broke a couple times, you know what I'm saying? But I never showed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kept the same energy that I did when I got the bag as I did when I got, you know what I mean, went flat. So it's like, you know,
So throughout this whole time, music was very prevalent in your life. You was
Definitely.
still cooking up in the stew at all times,
definitely.
and it was just going hand in hand, like
Right.
the soundtrack to your life, basically.
Exactly.
Makes sense. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit. Like mentally, how do you feel mentally, like in this day and age? Like, how do you feel?
To be honest, right now, you know, I got a lot on my plate. You know what I mean? I'm thankful that, because I prayed for all of the shit that I got going on right now. And, you know, I manifested it. So, you know, I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. You know what I mean? Mentally, it's just like, you got to find time for every little thing. I'm a father. I got kids, you know what I'm saying? Got a family. I got shit, you know what I mean? I got multiple other businesses that I got going on. So it's like, and I wear multiple other hats. So it's like, man, you got to separate and make time for everything. So it get overwhelming sometimes. Like I said, it get overwhelming, but I'm thankful for it. I love the challenge. You know what I mean? It keeps me moving and motivated.
All right, that's a blessing, man. Ain't gonna lie. A lot of people go through what you've been through. Can't say that.
No,
They can't say
absolutely.
that they came out of it and is able to like learn from it. So, like, what do you do other than music that is therapeutic in your life?
To be traveling. I go
Travel.
see the world. Like, you know, most people have other vices. Like some of my homies, they like to smoke weed. Some of them just like to drink. Some of them like to, you know what I mean, do everything. Whatever they do is they vice. My vice is traveling.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I like traveling and fine dining. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm at that point in life. I no longer smoke weed or drink. So, you know what I mean? I found something else to spend that
That's
money
good.
and time on.
That's good. What's your favorite place to go? Or what's your favorite place you've been to?
I'm gonna say I love Turks. Turks is a
Turks are
vibe.
nice. Okay.
Turks is a vibe. Then I like South America too. It's a lot
Okay.
of. I like the way they treat you in South America. You know, we get treated like kings in South America. So
Understandable.
yeah,
Understandable. In South America, which country?
man, shit, all of them. I'm going to Costa Rica this weekend. So you know what I'm
That's
saying. But I
impressive,
like
man.
Colombia, Cartagena. Me and bro was
Okay.
just talking about Cartagena. I love Cartagena because they got this little wall. It's like a whole city inside of a wall.
That's
Everything you
fun.
need is right there.
That's good. That's a blessing, bro. I'm glad you were able to come out like I said, coming from where you came from, man. You won. You
No, I
won.
definitely
You
want.
won in
Like
life.
if it all ended today,
Yeah,
nigga,
like you
I
won.
succeeded past any expectations that I had for myself as well as my city. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
Like, you know what I
blessing,
mean?
bro.
Like it's coming from my city. It's very rare for somebody to make it to where I made it to.
For sure. And then switch gears a little bit. Or what would you say is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is letting my kids down. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm their superhero. So you know what I mean? That's why one of the reasons why I left the streets alone. Cause like, man, my kids looking at me. You know, one thing about kids, they don't believe what you or listen to what you say. They listen to what you do. So if you telling them, nah, stay out the streets, don't do this, don't do that. Hey, man, stop smoking weed. Hey, that nigga, and then you doing it, they gonna be like, nigga, you doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? They influenced by their parents. You know what I mean? Most kids want to be like their parents. You know what I mean? Like the girl want to be like her mother and the boy want to be like her dad. I mean, you know what I mean? Boy want to be like his dad. So it's like, you know, they very impressionable. So I got to set a good example for them. I got to set it up so that they could be successful when they get older. You know what I mean? Because, you know, our culture is backwards. You know, our culture is
Right.
have as many kids as you can and hope one of them be in the NFL and take care of you.
Like a
Like these
lot of
other
them.
cultures, they like, nigga, I'm gonna set it up for my kids so I can leave something behind for them.
That's a
You know what I'm
fact.
saying?
That
So
makes
I'm just
sense.
trying to change the narrative.
Nah, I definitely agree with that. That makes more sense. Cause a lot of that's how our culture is. It's like a lottery
Yeah,
instead
and
of
that's it.
yeah.
Instead of setting it up for the next generation, like we supposed to set it up for the next generation, they set it up for the next generation, and then we can create the generation of wealth.
I agree. I agree. So like everybody been through something, and you have a unique story. But like, what moment in your life would you say shaped you, and if you did learn anything from it, what did you learn from it?
I'm gonna be honest, man. What shaped me the most is the prison biz. Like each time I got stronger, wiser, more official, and more tapped in with my spiritual side. You know what I'm saying? Because that time being away, I had to really get in tune. You know what I mean, with God and myself.
For
You know what
sure.
I'm saying? And it's like I know I got a calling and I'm here for a real reason, and it ain't that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it ain't that.
Nice.
That was a distraction.
Yeah. Well, from hearing your story, man, it sounds like you've been through some stuff, but it seemed like you learned, and I feel like it might have been needed, you know?
Hey, listen, that's why I said I don't
Yeah.
ever want to go to jail. I don't wish it on nobody, and jail was not cool by
Nah,
any
yeah.
long shot, but it actually was something that helped me.
Yeah.
It made
Well,
me better.
let me rephrase, not needed, but it's
Yeah,
something that you
definitely.
benefited from.
For sure.
You
Yeah,
benefited, and
definitely.
like it helped you, because I'm looking at a new, well, I can't even say a new person, but
Yeah.
I'm meeting you today, and you seem like you're doing a lot.
Yeah, I'm
And
doing
it's
a lot,
good,
and
man.
it's all through God, bro. Like God is
Sure.
heavily involved, my nigga. Like for
For
real.
sure. But yo, it was a pleasure speaking to you, man.
Man, I appreciate it,
Thank you
bro.
for coming
Appreciate the
through.
opportunity to come chill
Yes,
on your
sir.
platform,
Yes,
gang.
sir. Take it.
Yes,
Yeah, I like
sir.
that back
Yeah,
then.
let's.
I
Oh my God.
appreciate it.